I was growing up in a small town in China. Our church was more than just a building. It was our sanctuary, a place where we could find peace and fellowship. It was where I first learned about the unconditional love which described in John chapter 15, verse 13. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friend. But in the shadow of regime of China, they monitor us every move, and our sanctuary felt under siege. Imagine living in a place where the simplest act of worship could invite a knock on your door by the authorities, CCP. That is, our house churches, humble and hidden within the crevices of crowded buildings, were still always at risk. By the Chinese government's eyes were everywhere, and our crosses, no matter how small or discreet, seemed to shine like beacons to them, and our fear were palpable. Each of our services could be our last, yet we gathered, clinging to our faith. I remember it was one Sunday. Our worst fears materialized like a scene from a grim tale. Our last service was interrupted not by an amen, but by the forceful entry of the Chinese police. They came at the behest of informants, or maybe just by our neighbors who reported us, or perhaps who had whispered our whereabouts. But we were driven out by the police, and our Bible clutched in the trembling hands. They said explosives that could reduce our church to rubble. I still vividly recall the thunderous claps of the walls, where I once considered my second home. The cross under which I have prayed since my childhood was trampled, shattered into pieces by the boots of Chinese police that knew no reverence, and our Bibles, those sacred texts that had guided me through my life's darkest moments. Our Bibles were seized, and Chinese police declared Bibles illegal propaganda. It wasn't enough to silence our prayers. They burned out our Bibles right before our eyes and reduced the world to ashes. Our priest, a gentle soul who had taught us about grace and redemption, was taken away in handcuffs by Chinese police. His head bowed under the weight of false accusation. In the days that followed, we are his flock. We found ourselves joined to the ruins of our church, amid the charred remnants of what we was to our spiritual home. We tried to pray here, but even that was forbidden. The CCP police told us this place is no longer a sanctuary, the voice echoing through the still smoldering debris. Displaced, we found ourselves wandering, seeking corners where we could whisper our prayers without fear of retaliations. We met in shadows, our fellowship fragmented but unbroken, filled by memories of what we once called home. This story isn't just mine. It is the story of many Chinese in mainland China, where faith is monitored and curtailed. We hold on to the belief that from the John chapter 1, verse 5, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Despite this everything, our spirit, like our faith, remains unbroken, for we know that the true sanctuary lies not in the walls we build, but in our hearts that continue to believe.